Well, October 20th is quickly approaching us, and you probably know that is the big release date for Super Mario Bros. Wonder to finally go live. You can download it from the eShop, or you can pick up your physical copy, or maybe you already have a physical copy headed to you in the mail. But we do have a couple brand new updates to go over for this game in anticipation of its big release. One has to do with the demo that if you feel like going out into the world, you can actually go try to find it yourself right around you locally at this moment. And it also opens the door for some hope that we may actually see a demo go live on the Nintendo Switch eShop ahead of this thing's official release. And then the second update we have to go over actually has to do with the difficulty of the game, because if you're someone like me, you might want something that's a little bit more challenging, especially towards the end game. But you know Nintendo's not going to make it totally inaccessible to brand new players. And we actually have some very exciting details on that front. And before we do hop into everything, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification if you're new here. And with that, we will kick it off with update number 1, which has to do with the demo being out there in the wild and maybe even heading to the Nintendo Switch eShop. As you can see, the following article posted up over on VGC, which reads, Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo appears at Switch kiosks in the US. It's unclear if the demo will also be released on the Nintendo eShop. As spotted by Nintendo, some US stores have received an update to their demo kiosk that adds a playable demo for the upcoming platformer. The demo is reportedly available at select Target, Walmart, and GameStop stores. It's unclear if the demo will be released on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Retail exclusive demos for games are rare, but not unheard of. And you can then see one of the screenshots posted up in question, which clearly outlines a playable version of Super Mario Bros. Wonder at a local Target store. And I am just personally hoping that we may see something go live on the eShop at this point so you can play it at home. But if you are somebody who really wants to get a hands-on feel for the mechanics of this game, see just how the platforming feels whenever you are actually the one controlling the characters, which I think Nintendo's done a fantastic job marketing this game so far. But if you want to get that hands-on, authentic experience, it might be worth over the weekend heading out to one of your local retailers. Stick to the Walmarts, Targets, and GameStops of the world, because these are the ones that have been confirmed to have the playable demo. And it's not clear if it's at every Walmart, GameStop, and Target. It says select as far as these posts go, so I'm assuming some of them may have just not done the kiosk updates yet, or maybe it is only at targeted select stores. But I also think that we do have at least a coin flip of a chance of this thing potentially heading to the eShop as well, and I'm definitely here for that. If that's the case, we'll probably do a video first on hands-on impression, so subscribe for that if you're interested in it. But I am hoping we get a brief hands-on experience with Mario Bros. Wonder before its official release. Now, update number 2 has to do with this game's difficulty, because as mentioned in the intro, if you're like me and you've been playing 2D Mario platformers for the better part of 20 plus years, I'm 30 years old at this point. I've been playing Mario platformers since I was about 6 or 7. So yeah, really almost 25 years of Mario platforming experience at this point. And I would personally love to see this game get progressively harder as it goes, because you really do want to have a game that kind of feels like you're developing skill for by the end of it. At least I really tend to enjoy worlds like 6, 7, and 8, where the difficulty historically in 2D Mario games has ramped up in a big way, and it kind of just creates that intensity feeling for me that I tend to really enjoy in video games. But of course, Nintendo does like to keep things very accessible for players of all ages, and no doubt with the success of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, this is likely going to be targeted at somewhat of a younger demographic. People who are just now getting exposed to Mario for the first time potentially might see this as the big aha holiday game to pick up and buy for children. So of course Nintendo is going to want to keep the difficulty in check, but you do have things like the Yoshi characters that we've already heard about, and Nabbit as well, where if you select those, you don't take damage from enemies. So that seems like a really good middle ground if you do want to have some more difficult levels. And it sounds like we may have some very difficult levels by the end of the game, or at least some bonus sections. As you can see, the following article over on My Nintendo News, which reads, Super Mario Bros. Wonder producer and director discuss the game's difficulty. Game Informer has been lucky enough to chat with Super Mario Bros. Wonder producer Takahashi Tezuka and director Shiro Mori about the Mario's latest 2D platforming extravaganza. One of the topics Game Informer's Brian Shea wanted to find out about is the game's difficulty, especially regarding post-game content. The two Nintendo employees wouldn't answer that particular question, though they did speak about the difficulty of finding all the ability badges, which gives Mario and friends special abilities. Takahashi Tezuka says he wasn't able to 100% the game, while Mori chimed in to say that he had 100%ed it. One aspect of Super Mario Bros. Wonder completionists will want to tackle is collecting every badge. While some can be purchased through the in-game store using collectible flower coins, others must be outright earned. It really is going to be quite challenging to be able to collect all of the badges, so if you feel confident in your Mario playing skills, I implore you to give it a shot, Mori says. In response to Mori, Tezuka chimes in, "No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get the last one. As you can see, it's really difficult for developers themselves," Mori responded. "I got all of the badges. Up until now, I've completed pretty much every single Mario game that I've worked on," Tezuka, who started work on the Mario series with the first Super Mario Bros. Game, says, "But for this one, I did have to have help with 2 courses. All the rest I did myself. There are 2 courses where I couldn't complete every aspect there was to complete," he says. "I'm just not as skilled as the other staff members. As for the most challenging stages, I'm glad it's at the difficulty level it is, because creating courses based on my skill level would surely make it feel lacking for many players." So while we didn't get outright details on just how difficult this game will be, it does sound like if you really want to go for that 100% completionist run, there's going to be plenty of difficult stages to tackle and figure out, and probably also some very clever hidden items within those stages. That's kind of what trips me up. Even with the golden coins in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, it was definitely hard to find all of the big coins in each level, and I'm sure it will be no difference with the Wonder Seeds and ability badges this time around. It does seem like that ability badge thing and unlocking those will be a very fun thing throughout the game. There's also other interview snippets where the team has outright said that we haven't seen anything yet from the promotional trailers. So while a lot of fans have been concerned about, is Nintendo showing us too much of this game, or maybe they're spoiling some of the more end game type of stuff, they really are trying to set the precedent and expectation that we haven't seen anything yet. And if that is indeed the case, I really can't wait to see what some of the later worlds are going to have in terms of level design and enemies you fight and Wonder Seed challenges and all of these incredibly creative gameplay ideas we've seen Nintendo implement this time around. So I'm personally very hyped for this one. I can't wait for October 20th to get here. My only dilemma is I have to try to beat Sonic Superstars in just 2 days, because that's literally the gap in release time from when these classic 2D platformers come out. But regardless, I do think that it's going to be a very good purchase for Nintendo Switch owners to plan on picking this one up. It's definitely one that I wouldn't skip on if you have any level of nostalgia or love for the classic 2D Mario style of games and you want to see the true evolution of the series with this particular title. But that's really where I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. Your personal hype levels and expectations around Mario Wonder. What do you think of these couple new updates? Are you going to go hunt at your local Targets, Walmarts, and GameStops of the world to try to find the playable demo on site and get to feel how this game plays firsthand? Or will you wait and see if we will potentially see one launch on the eShop later on? And what do you personally want to see from this game from a difficulty standpoint when you take into account the fact that there are Yoshi's and Nabbit characters that of course don't take damage? And do you want some of the top tier, most difficult platforming and enemies you've seen in a Mario game so far? Or would you prefer your 2D Mario experience to be somewhat more relaxing and chill as you progress through the early and late stages alike? But regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.